Alright, you're looking for how to start a dog breeding business. Really awesome search. I can help you out with this. My name's Brando Lineike there. And having done different types of this and having gotten around people who've done this full-time and part-time from their home in different clinics and different facilities over the last 4.5 years, it's a fairly simple business to start. I mean, if you're good with puppies, if you're good with animals, and you want to start your own dog breeding business, you can start it right out of your house, alright? Or if you want to start in a more clean and sanitary sanction, you can start it in a facility, alright? In a yard, in a place where you can actually house the animals, train the animals, alright? And then from that point on, you can actually get the business going. Once it's registered and once it's legal, once you can actually legally operate, okay? And depending on where you're operating it, what location, alright? After you figure that out, once you plan it out, you can just start putting things up on Craigslist, alright, job ads. You can start putting things up in articles and newspapers, and you can start getting yourself out there and just sharing with people what kind of dogs it is that you're actually breeding, alright? So it's a good business. I know a lot of people who have made quite a bit of money doing it, but I'm telling you, dealing with dog breeding in itself and in essence, the process of it, it can be very messy, alright? And there's a lot of babysitting, there's a lot of nuances that come with the territory where you're dealing with dogs all the time, you're dealing with cleaning up after dogs all the time. Not to say that's bad, but it can take away from the time freedom that you can have if you're really just looking at this to build a business, alright, to be your own boss. If that's really what you're looking for, then I'd say before you consider starting a dog breeding business, before you head down this path, okay, before you do it, if you hear me out here for a minute, I've got a tip I want to throw your way. And my story with this goes back about a year ago, if you're only looking at this because you want to build a business and income. And because in essence, that's kind of how you can get it started. But if you're looking at this from an opportunity perspective, a year ago, I transitioned from this type of business model, and I came across a person who was building a business in a way where they weren't dealing with a bunch of animals. They weren't dealing with maintaining animals like you would maintain employees in different businesses, and they weren't dealing with that overhead, and they're actually traveling around the world building their business at the same time and growing their business at the same time, and doing so without products or inventory, without shipping and handling, without chasing people down, alright? They're actually attracting people to them and their business, and they're doing this all on the internet. They're building a business online, and their results are not average or typical. I mean, this person was making more money every month than I was making in 2 years, but it was attractive to me, so I started to model and copy them. In less than 90 days, I was able to walk away from my traditional business, create a full-time income working part-time, and those aren't average or typical results. I worked my butt off, learned some things, but I share that with you really because before you consider starting a dog breeding business, if you're looking at starting one only because you want to be your own boss, create time, freedom, leverage, and flexibility, and do it in a way that's fun, learn how to leverage what you're already utilizing right now, because if you don't, I'm telling you, your competition will, and they'll blow you right out of the water. And if you want to create time, freedom, leverage, and flexibility, learn how to create a highly profitable business model with the least amount of headaches, with the least amount of overhead. Am I saying there's no work required with an internet business? Absolutely not. This is not a gimmick. It requires work. You got to learn stuff like any business. But if you're only looking at this because you want to be your own boss, create leverage, learn to build a business online before you head down the path of dog breeding. So that's just my tip. Unless you've got a real passion for it, just follow what I shared with you in the beginning of this video. And I hope this was of help. I hope you got value out of it. And I hope it kind of opened up your eyes to different possibilities and different opportunities for you. So I appreciate you. Been fun. And if you'd like to learn more information about how to actually build a business online, if you're coachable, willing to put in work, willing to learn, you can check out my site after. It's 123marketingtips.com. And I'll see you on the beaches of the world. Take care.